Hello, everyone. This is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org, author of I, the Dragon, True and Beautiful, Rabbit Hole King, D.L. Lauren Foray, and the upcoming Jaw of the Dragon. So this weekend, I had the opportunity for the first time ever to play Resident Evil 8 on my brand new gaming PC. There were a bunch of Resident Evil games on sale, so I took the opportunity to buy 8. I bought like Resident Evil 3 Remake. I bought like a lot of stuff I've been wanting to pick up on PC. I was thrilled about the opportunity to play the game of the year 2021 Resident Evil Village. This game, I was so excited about it. I delayed my plans of buying God of War 2018 to play this instead. And boy, was that a disappointment. I really do feel as if AAA games are getting worse. Like I've said they've been bad for years. I've been saying that Resident Evil has been bad since Resident Evil 5, right? It's been like a very noticeable real decline with these games, with them like refusing to evolve and really like incorporate the elements that made them popular to begin with them like refusing to really have any real sense of progression or any real. There's no reason to keep playing them essentially. Like the franchise's golden age is long past, right? There hasn't been a good Resident Evil game since like Resident Evil 4 on the Nintendo GameCube. Like everything they've done since then, even with like 7 somewhat being better than 5 and 6, has been like a clear radical decline. I've talked about this before, but having played Village for I don't know how long it was, like half an hour, I was completely taken aback at how awful it was. It felt like a Western game with like the hackneyed setup, with like the little kid that gets kidnapped, with like the poorly written dialogue, with like the designs of the characters, just like the entire setup in general felt like very, very Western. And if you know anything about Western video games, they're all objectively terrible. There is no salvaging the Western video game industry. Like playing Resident Evil 8 just made me want to go back and play real Resident Evil games. It made me want to go back and play the remake of 1. It made me want to go back and play 0, 4, like 2 remake was better than this. Like it feels like Capcom is completely incapable of making compelling new Resident Evil games. And what's more glaringly obvious to me is that most people aren't willing to admit it. Like 10 years ago, Capcom had a reputation for being like a shit developer, right? They became known as Crapcom for a good period of time. I don't understand how they ever got rid of that image because they haven't done anything in the past decade to kind of reestablish faith in their franchises. Like Street Fighter was shit. Like the new Street Fighter was shit. Like all the new Resident Evils was shit. Like Devil May Cry 5 was shit. Like I don't understand what exactly people are coming back for unless it's Monster Hunter or Ace Attorney related. Nintendo Monster Hunter and Ace Attorney related. Like Capcom really doesn't feel like a company that's on top of its game. Like it really doesn't. I don't want to say it's as bad as Square Enix because Square Enix has nothing going for them right now. At least Capcom has Monster Hunter, but like it's still pretty bad. Like if games like Resident Evil 8 are winning awards and getting people to like declare them to be some of the best games of the year, like they need to be reevaluated. Like it's not just about the games anymore. Like just not being very good. Like I'm sick to death of YouTubers, critics, and like fanboy shills defending these games. Like Resident Evil as an IP should have died a long time ago. It hasn't maintained its quality. It hasn't stayed true to itself. It hasn't evolved in any meaningful capacity. And yet every iteration, like you have a handful of fanboys who come out and just declare it the best thing ever, like just because of the Resident Evil branding. It's a joke. It is pathetic. There was nothing interesting about RE8. Like it was a step down from 7 in every way imaginable. Like I didn't care for it at all. Like 7 at least had a good setup with like the house and like solving some of the puzzles and like the AI and the enemies were shit, but like there were good things about 7. There were good individual moments. Like I experienced none of that from what I played of Resident Evil 8. I thought it was pure trash, and I was happy that I bought it on Steam and happy that I was quickly able to request a refund and get my money back. This game was unbelievably disappointing. And those of you who tried telling me that it was better than 4, better than like everything else that came out this year, and you do exist. I know I have names, I have receipts for that. Those people who defend games like this, who defend games like Horizon Forbidden West, who defend games like God of War, like these people need to reevaluate what it means to be a gamer because they clearly have no idea.